Frank Warren to sue Sela for $1 billion, and Conor Benn betrays Matchroom.
What do you reckon, Johnny? What do you reckon?
Hello and welcome to a special episode of The Hook, where we talk loyalty and betrayal while getting the latest from Frank Warren. This is The Hook. Frank, thank you for joining us on The Hook. Look, we have to start by talking about the breaking news that has been going around about this potential legal battle between you and the Saudis. What can you tell us about it at the moment?
Not a lot. It's just an action, and I can't make any comment on it at the moment.
What does it mean, though, for your fighters? Like, will you still be taking fights in Saudi? Will we see you still on Riyadh season cards?
I can't comment on it at the moment. You know, this has come out, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is, and we've got to just get on with it. We're running shows. That's what you're here for today, for our shows. This will be a sold-out show. We had a sold-out show in Germany. We sold out in Dublin. Moses, there's less than 1,000 tickets left for that. We're announcing a big fight in Paris tomorrow, heavyweight title fight, plus quite a few other fights. So we're just business as usual for us, and hopefully the other thing will be resolved.
Yeah, do you think there is still scope for that harmony, for everyone to still play nicely?
Riyadh season has been brilliant for us, and we've done everything as we signed up to do, and we expect everybody to do the same thing with us. As simple as that.
Look, Frank, I have to put this to you. There's rumours circulating, as they do on social media, that Tyson could be interested in that Zuffa deal. Has anyone ever approached Tyson or yourself about that?
No.
What do you mean?
You say the Zuffa deal. I don't know what deal is. What deal?
Well, that's what people are just speculating on social media, whether there is potential that Tyson has been approached about joining Zuffa.
Tyson's next couple of fights are all more or less done.
I think these rumours probably come from the shock you saw with Conor Benn.
Yeah.
And what was your take on it? Loyalty's a big deal in our sport.
Well, it's not a shock for me. I've been there and it's happened to me. I've seen it happen. You know, Eddie, excuse me, he fought hard for him and stood by him in the terrible times that he had. And somebody showed me a video the other day, because I haven't got time to watch all that rubbish. And it was, in the video he was saying, you know, loyal, money mean nothing. But at the end of the day, that happened. You know, Eddie had a chance, I think, to match the offer. Chose not to do it, or couldn't do it, or whatever happened. And he's had a big result, the money he's getting, because I've got to be honest, I don't see him at that level yet. Well, he's not at that world level yet.
So you can kind of understand the decision making, thinking it's 15 mil there.
Well, maybe he's doing that, and I mean, if Eddie offered him 13 or whatever it was, I don't know. I mean, you know, who knows? I mean, that's their business. But the bottom line of all it is, he beat Chris Eubanks, who for me has never been above that level. Their first fight was a great fight to watch at its level. At its level. The second fight, he just done a job on Eubanks, and that's it. But as I say, Chris Eubanks has never been. I've never looked at him and thought he's anything special, and he's not been anything special because he's not done it. Not won a world title, has he? I think his dad had been retired for 2 years by now and defended his title 20 times or whatever it was.
Would this happen on your watch?
Sorry?
You've been in this game far too long. Would this happen on your watch? The fallout with the move from Conor, would that happen on your watch?
It happens, doesn't it? I remember years ago when I got shot, I had a fighter who said, swearing loyalty to me. If I'd have been there, I'd have taken the bullet. And a month later, he went and signed with Matchroom. And I remember sending him a message saying, where was you? I wish you'd have taken the bullet.
Look, Frank, we have to let you go because the press conference is going to be starting. Just a quick word on why everyone should tune in to Fabio Wardley, Daniel Dubois.
It's called Don't Blink, and it's called Don't Blink for a reason, because the fight, as soon as that bell goes, they are going to be out and out trying to knock each other out. That's what they do, these two guys. They knock people out. They're brutal punchers, and you're going to see something extra exciting and special.
Frank, who will you be rooting for?
Sorry?
Who will you be rooting for?
I'm going to sit on this fence. They're just two really nice guys. They're lovely guys, and the winner will win, and it won't be the end of the world for the loser. They're lovely fellas, and they're proper pros. I'm going to be sitting there as a fan watching that and enjoying it.
What happens for the winner? Because I know we previously spoke about Fabio Wardley and obviously the Joseph Parker fight, trying to get the Usyk fight after that. Is that the goal then for what happens to the winner?
The winner holds the WBO title. Who knows? We may get to a situation where the 4 belts, Usyk wants to fight for the belts. If not, he'll have to. We've got a stack of heavyweights under our umbrella we can make fights with. Maybe Tyson. There's all sorts of fights, so many permutations.
Is there any interest from Tyson in this kind of fight? Is he thinking, you know what, get me the winner, get me in the mix?
Tyson's mentioned it already that he's obviously focusing on his fight at Spurs against Makhmudov, which is a bit of a tough fight for him for a comeback fight. We'll see.
Well, there you go. That was Frank Warren on The Hook. We actually caught up with Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois earlier to get their take on the Conor Benn situation. Just your initial take on that news.
Surprising. Yeah, I think I was the same as everyone. I was like, this can't be real. Is this not? Surely it can't be. What is? Again, I think all of us maybe thought it was a joke, or we got done by AI, or something, or else. Like, everyone was very confused. So, yeah, like, I understand it as well, because look, the game is the game. We're fighters. Our job is very dangerous. We've only got a finite amount of time. One is our career as a whole, but secondly is the prime of our careers. So, look, make hay while the sun shines. I hear it. I understand.
You're not one of the fighters that Zuffa's got their eye on then? We don't know. We know they've got their eyes on snatching a few UK fighters. So,
well, Dana hasn't given me a call yet. Anyway, maybe he hasn't got the right number yet, or he's contacted someone else.
What would you do? What would you do if you was in Conor's position?
Look, I'd have a conversation. I'm not. But the difference is with me, I'm honest. And I would say to Frank, look, there's opportunities over here. Are you able to replicate them, match them? How is that going to look? If not, okay, cool. Look, I appreciate it, but
that's business.
I'm taking. Look, the game's the game. At the end of the day, we're all but I'm just going to be honest about it. The same way I've still got a good relationship with Matchroom. I used to be with them. I'm not anymore, because I said to them, look, this is how I want the XYZ to look. They're like, we can't really manage that. I'm like, okay, cool. All the best for you. I'm going to go do my own thing for a bit. And I can imagine if I wanted to circle back next year or whatever else, I could, because I've still maintained a respectful way to end that relationship.
That's a mature way to do it.
Yeah.
Is Zuffa good for boxing then as a whole?
Yet to be seen. It's too early to tell, I think.
We have to ask you, one of the big topics of conversation this week has been Zuffa Boxing and Conor Benn making that move over to Zuffa. What was your initial reaction when you heard that news?
Yeah, boxing's, that's a massive move for him and the new Zuffa. I can't speak on it too much, but yeah, he's made the best move for himself, I guess.
What do you think about loyalty in boxing these days? Do you think it's always been like this, or do you think there's been a change since the big money is being thrown around?
I feel like loyalty in boxing is it's a quite funny thing to even say like that, because a promoter's going to get rid of you if you keep losing a couple of fights. The loyalty ain't going to be there when you're fucked up in the ring, so you'll be going over to the other fighter. So I feel like, yeah, there's doing what's best for the fighter, because it's all about you.
Yeah.
But you know what? I've had a great time with Frank Warren and his promoters out here doing a great job. But yeah, it is what it is, boxing.
That was Daniel Dubois there. You can watch a full interview on Daily Mail Sport Boxing. But Sam Jones, thank you for coming and joining us on The Hook. We want to get your reaction to what Daniel was saying there about loyalty and boxing. What do you make of the situation that's been going on this week and loyalty as a whole?
I think a lot of the time in boxing, people are loyal when it kind of suits them, whether that's promoters or fighters. Ultimately, boxing is a business, and it's prize fighting. And again, if anyone tells you any different, they're not telling you the truth. So that is my my opinion on that.
Was it a shock to you?
Kind of, but not when you hear the details of it. Do you know what I mean? Not when you hear the details of it, because I know I'm looking at you right now, John. You've got a very straight face. No, it's not. But if someone offered you 16 million, you are running. You are running to Vegas. In fact, you're cartwheeling.
There's ways of doing it. There's
absolutely ways of doing it, but there is two sides to a story. So until you get it from Conor, what exactly happened, what went down there. Because listen, Should they have had a good conversation before that? Yes, because of everything that's gone on and the fact that he's had Conor from baby. But ultimately, there is two sides to a story. How the situation.
In an ideal world, how would you have played it?
Me, how have I played it?
How would you have played it?
If I'd have got the same offer for a client, very simple.
What?
Ring. Do you want me to come and see you? FaceTime. I FaceTime everyone. Everyone knows this. Everyone gets annoyed at me because I FaceTime because I like to look into your eyeballs when I'm speaking to you, like what I'm doing now, Johnny. But no, I would tell them the truth of the matter, and I'd just say, look, what are we going to do about this? What are you going to do about this? You're our guy, or whoever we're speaking to, whether it be Frank Warren or Eddie, you're our guy.
You're looking to go to my direct rival.
Yes. But this is what's on the line. 16 million bar, lot of dough, What are you going to do about it? So that's what I'd ask about. I wouldn't say we're off straight away. I would give them a chance, but this is whether it's out of it's great because now values we're back to the values again of boxing, where boxers' values are going up. It's great for boxing. It's great for fighters.
Do you agree with the backlash that Conor's getting?
When you see one kind of, he should have sat down, and people are going to jump on it. But until you're in Conor's position, where he's got 2 young kids, who knows how long you're going to fight? You could get injured. You know this, Johnny. You've done this. I haven't done this. I've not been punched in the face for a living. You have. So when you get offered those kind of opportunities, you got to take a
The question
short career.
I ask though about it is that yes, okay, the money is there, but I'm thinking more about his career as a whole, because we know what Eddie Hearn is like, that he would have navigated Conor's career beautifully. And I think he still would have done that, and he would have got career high paydays. He's already had career high against Eubank, but the thing with Zuffa and what Dana's always said with the UFC is everyone gets matched how they're matched, and there's no protecting fighters.
One fight deal.
Yeah, but still though,
It's an opponent of his choice.
Which makes it even more attractive.
Even more dangerous though for Conor though. One fight deal and then.
No, because it's an opponent that he has to mutually agree with his advisor. So it's not a case of 16 million. You're in the league. You'll fight who we're told to.
He's going to pay 16 million to Conor, and then he can have a pushover fight.
It's not necessarily a pushover fight, but it will be someone who they have to mutually agree. They can't just ring up and say, right, you're fighting Boots Ennis.
Maybe
fuck that. Sorry.
Maybe Conor's being realistically thinking, if I belong at the top in that kind of money world,
yes,
I should be able to do this. And if I don't, you know what? I've stepped into a big world, got paid big money, which I'll never get again. So I've done something that would probably never come my way again. So that's looking at it from Conor's point of view. Looking at it from Eddie's point of view, he's
you're
thinking,
heartbroken.
whoa.
You've been stung bad like that. Eddie's lost his boy. Do you know what I mean? He's got Anthony Joshua and he's got Conor Benn. They're the two flagship guys in Matchroom, right? The big money earners. So Eddie's rightfully stung. He's rightfully stung, and that's why it would have been good for it not to kind of end that way, because they've had a real traumatic, emotional ride together, if that makes sense.
Do you think it's ended?
This is what I'm trying to say to you, Johnny. See, do you know if you get stung in boxing, you get stung in boxing, look what happens. Look what can happen. 1 minute you're with somebody, next minute you're not. Like boxing swings out. I've represented Joe Joyce against Daniel when he boxed him in COVID. Do you understand? Now I'm sitting here with Daniel. Telling everyone he's about to lay Fabio Wardley out.
Yeah, but does Eddie take him back though after this?
Come on, Charlotte. Johnny, what do you reckon?
I
What
know Eddie takes him.
What do you reckon?
I know Eddie takes him back.
100%. If the money's there and the fights are there to be made, I just think the dynamics change. I just took you my friends.
Why's everybody snatching your microphone?
Daniel did that to me today as well.
I got you. Yeah, listen, if he snatch it, you have to give it. Me, you can snatch it back. Big guy. But no, it's with Eddie, I think the dynamics just change, because you kind of think, now we have to look at this. It's not personal, it's just business. That's the way you have to look at it. But look, as long as you go into boxing thinking that it is just business, I mean, listen, I'm rich to talk. All of my fighters, I love all of my fighters. Like, I really do love them. And if I was Eddie, I'd be crying. I'd be round the back here with a pack of hankies, and I'd be crying. Because then I'd be stung, I'd be hurt. Because I'm an emotional person. I'm not scared to admit that. I'm emotional about my fighters. And you go out to bat for him, especially what Eddie's done with what happened. He went out to bat for him. Do you know what I mean? But you have to put yourself in. You're the best person to give your opinion on this, because you've done this. I have never done this before. I've never walked out in front of loads of people and had someone try to physically kill me. Because that's what it is. That you're trying to flatten somebody. You're trying to beat somebody to the point where a ref is waving a fight. It's brutal. It's barbaric. So you have to maximise your earnings in boxing. You do. You have a small window, and you know that better than anybody.
That's why I'm saying, looking at it from a boxer and ex-fighter's point of view, I understand. Then looking at it from the other side, you think, okay, I understand that too. But I'll always side with the fighter. I just probably wouldn't have done it the same way.
Yeah. But this is like I say, it's better to, if you can ever speak with Conor and get his side to it. But look, the bottom line is, could it have been handled better? Probably. But the reasons why he's thinking, it's not just because he wants to. He's got young kids. He's secured their futures forever. That's a big thing in our. There's pressures in our society nowadays, and everything's so expensive. He's secured his family's future forever.
So would you say then Zuffa is good for boxing? And also, how does the dynamic work now? Because we've seen that there's obviously a fallout between Queensberry, Frank Warren and Turki Al Sheikh. What does the future of the landscape kind of look like?
Highest bidder wins, Charlotte. And that's the way boxing works. And again, if people tell you differently, that's up to them. But from my perspective is, if an offer would be, say you've been with someone from debut and you've been earning millions and millions and millions and millions. I'm not speaking from experience, but I'm saying like an Anthony Joshua, we'll use him as an example, right? He's been very loyal to Eddie. I know people are always trying to prize him away. He's the prime example of what loyalty is, right? But if someone comes to Anthony Joshua and say, look, we're going to give you 100 million, but Eddie will give him, 80. He's staying with Eddie. Because so there is people can find loyalty, but it depends what the margins are, and it depends how much you earn. Especially if you've a young pup that's never, you're off.
So you look at the Eddies, you look at the Franks, you look at all the promoters out there. Zuffa have thrown the gauntlet down to say we're coming to get some more fighters.
Johnny.
So now they're going to try and tie up all their fighters up because Zuffa will come in and snatch them out. They proved that's what they're going to. They said they're going to get some more. The rumour is Usyk is the next snatch. And in the UK,
I've heard of a few more as well. Johnny.
And in the UK there'll be more.
Names?
Oh no, definitely not. I don't know coming for me. But no, I've heard some very, very big names are heading in that direction, and this is what happens because right now Zuffa have come in, they're flexing their muscles. Because you look at Nick Khan, who's a big part of Zuffa Boxing, he runs WWE. These aren't small organisations, these aren't small timers here. You got Dana White, Turki Al Sheikh, just them three alone. That's a proposition and a half. But then you've got, as I say, but Eddie, being the guy, the brash guy that he is, big 6'5" of him, he's going to be like thinking, I'm not having any of this.
Let me show us
Frank Warren survived every storm there is in boxing, so he's rolling his coat up and he's thinking, fuck this. It's great for boxing.
Let me throw a scenario out there.
Come on, Johnny.
So you've got Eddie, you've got Eddie, you've got Frank. Okay. You've got Turkey came to the UK, ruffled everybody, said they thrown amazing money into it. Saw those two, made them work together. Now it looks like on the surface he's walked away, said, right, thank you boys, our playtime's over. I'm going to the other side of the water.
Okay.
So now Frank and Eddie have got to go back to basics, say this is what we did before you were on the scene, and we're going to operate and still be a big powerhouse. Do you think the same thing will happen in the States with Dana? At the moment, is they're working together. You know, at one point he said I want it to just be the Ring Magazine belt, but now he has to work alongside the Zuffa World Title belt.
Listen, I think nothing's a quick fix. You can't Rome wasn't built in a day. Yeah, love that one. But yeah, it wasn't built in a day. So they'll be thinking to themselves, we can't dilute these belts right now because they have huge meaning. But if their plan is to we get all the big boys over here and we kind of say, go away to the belts, then you try and legitimize the Zuffa belt and more of the Ring Magazine belt, which is rich in history, by the way. But see me, I am old school when it comes to things. I love a WBC belt, I love a WBO belt, WBA, IBF. They're what you're in boxing for. But ultimately, it depends. That's why Eddie, Frank Warren, they're going to roll their sleeves up. And we'll see what everyone's made of, won't we, Jonathan?
That was Sam Jones on The Hook. Now, we've heard the opinions of Sam, of Frank, and the fighters themselves. Johnny, I want to know your opinion. Is Zuffa good for boxing?
Of course it is. It's good because it makes everybody get on their toes and bring their A game. Zuffa swept in and took Jaya Patai. They've taken Conor Benn. There's rumour they're going to take other fighters as well. He's now making the promoter saying, we need to get our act together. Turki Al Sheikh came over here, ruffled the feathers, made two enemies work together. Now he's left them in the wilderness to say, I'm going over to the other side. Don't be surprised if Turkey does the same thing with Dana. See how it works, see how the land lies, and then boom, off again. I think it's good because it keeps everybody on their toes. And one thing I like as an ex-fighter, fighters are getting paid. That's what's important to me.
Yeah. Well, gone are the days seemingly of everybody playing nicely like we've seen for the last year or so. But that was The Hook. And if you enjoyed this show, make sure you head over to the Football Channel to check out the pitch.